What's up, everybody? It's Warboss Tay chilling in my garden, and it's a beautiful Saturday afternoon. And I wanted to take it out of the studio today so that we could just chill and catch up. And also because the Wi-Fi is not that great in there, so we'll see if the connection is any better out here today. I've got my book of topics I want to discuss with everybody so that I'm not rambling all over the place. There's always going to be a little bit of rambling because it's just my style, I guess. But I'm ready. I'm here in my beautiful outdoor paradise outside of my studio where the internet is a little bit better. The super chat is live, so hopefully I won't need it. But if you really want to throw a couple of bucks my way, it'll also help you to get your comment up at the top where I'll see it for longer. Jam Jar, what's up, man? Good to see you. So I'm also going to read any comments that come across when I see it. And yeah, we'll just hang out for a little bit and talk. If you're working on whatever project you're working on, it could be the July painting challenge, it could be anything, then we'll hang out together while you work. Okay, let's do it. Got my Sylvester cup of Arizona iced tea. So yeah, let's just hang out. So today's July 11th when I'm filming this. We're knee deep into week 2 of the July Painting Challenge. If you started it on July 1st, something that people have been asking me on Discord and through YouTube is, can I start, or I don't have the time to do the project. So if you don't have time to jump in, if you didn't have time to jump in at July 1st, you can do this project whenever you want. It's going around the whole year. I just call it the July Painting Challenge because that's when I wanted to start it. But if you want to start your painting challenge any time in the year, September, October, November, December, it is just 31 days of working on a hobby. It doesn't all have to be consecutive. You can space them out from now all the way till next year. It's whatever you want. And so I hope that clears things up for people who want to get into the challenge, but they are pretty sure they don't have the time to. Then, yeah, jump in whenever you want. Okay, so we've got 3 people in the chat right now and 3 people hanging out. This is, it's been a hot week here where I am in California, and it's going to get even hotter. I think they said it was going to jump up to 100 at some point today. 100 degrees is like, for somebody like me who's not used to that kind of weather, it's pretty rough. And being in the garage, like my workspace, it's concrete walls all around. Even with the fan going, it's just it's a scorcher. So it's nice to get out of the workshop. And I thought this is a little bit different than the last time I did a live stream. We're hanging out in the garden, and yeah, I've got my AirPods in, so hopefully it's a lot better of a microphone than speaking right into the phone. And if there's any problems, let me know with the audio, or if it starts lagging again, please let me know. But yeah, we're just here to carve out a little bit of time together, chill and hang out in this shared space. Oh, we got 6 people now watching. Right on. I can't see anybody because I'm not on an OBS, or I'm not on my laptop. I'm just looking at my phone, and my phone layout basically shows the number of people in watching, and that's it. So if you decided to stop by, say hello, say what's up, and if you want to let me know what you're working on, we could talk about your projects. We could talk about anything. We're just hanging out for a little bit of time. I'm on day 8 after my tooth problem. Jam Jar, tooth problem. Did you talk about that in a video? I don't think I might have missed that. I think the last video I saw of yours, you were assembling your nights still. So I hope you feel better and get a lot of rest, because teeth problems they're not good. I remember when I was in high school, I had all 4 of my wisdom teeth taken out at the same time on the same day, and oof, that was not fun. I was laid up for a while. Just ugh. Um, so yeah, I wanted to talk a little bit about the challenge and a little bit about what everyone's doing and how excited I am, because it's been a while since I've put one of these challenges on, and as much fun as they are to do and to run, abscesses in a later video. Okay, cool. Jam Jar's going to talk about that in a later video. I look forward to it. Yeah, like I was saying, the challenge is a lot of work for one guy who's not getting paid anything. Um, but I do it because I love this community so much, and I love the hobby so much, and I love working on my hobby in a community setting with other people. So that's really what excites me about this hobby. Hey, if you guys want to talk about anything, there's no real set schedule for today's video. I just wanted to live stream. I'm trying to get more consistent on a weekly basis to do videos like this. So if you want to talk about anything, throw it in the chat. And if you watch this later, if it's Sunday and you missed it, then totally unplanned this video. Just throw a comment in and we can put it on next week's schedule or whatever. I've got my own list of ideas I want to kind of talk about, but this is really just for me to hang out with you guys while you're working on your hobby or you're sitting in traffic or at the line in IKEA. My lady boss wants to go to IKEA later today, and uh, it's 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 going to be an adventure because I hear the line right now. Now that things are opening back up, is going to be wild. So good luck to us. All right. First thing I wanted to talk about, if I don't see anything you guys want to, if you have any questions, throw it up. But what I want to talk about is maintaining your level of motivation when you're doing a challenge. A challenge is different from any other kind of painting because you have to maintain, a high level of motivation and that fire, that creativity to go back to the painting table day after day, like a job, and churn out your work. So some people, after that initial fire of motivation starts to dim down, you have been missed, mate. You're one of the reasons I'm on YouTube. Oh, thanks, Jamjar. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I'm glad to be back. One of the hardest things when your motivation starts to lag and wane is to that find that drive again, right? To find that reason to put yourself back on the table, open the paint pots, get the airbrush turned on again. So, what I found are some really, really helpful ways to get your motivation levels cranked up is to have your your inspirational like photos. If you've got pictures of what you want your finished product to look like, a lot of people use Cool Mini or not, or just videos, pictures off the internet. Then you could throw those up, have them on your phone, print them out. I think seeing others work is a motivation to make you want to improve. Thank you, Brushwork Studio, Glasgow. Glasgow? I really, I agree. Seeing other people working. Hi, I'm from Slovenia. Hi, Zoran. Great to see you. Yeah, seeing other people working on their hobby helps a lot too. If I'm working on like my Deathcore of Krieg, I'll go on YouTube and I'll type in Deathcore of Krieg tutorial or showcase, and I'll want to see somebody who's trying to, who's achieved the levels that I want to get up to. So that's a really big help, having the pictures or the video of someone who's working on your hobby. Hey, it's the White Raja. Are a legend. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. Um, Jim Carrey, I've missed this so much, and I've never really got into the live streaming. I know Play It Painted does amazing live streams, Dicey Guy, and I've never really done it because I haven't really been set up for it. And at my painting station now, I think you've seen it if you've seen my last live streams. There, the Wi-Fi is really spotty, so I wanted to set up. I'm close to my router. It's like right inside here. Hopefully, the the reception holds. I don't start glitching out. Um, and if that happens, then we'll probably just cut the video and I'll try to figure something out next time. Tabletop PC gaming, yo, what's up, Howard? Um, yeah, so having your motivational videos or pictures in front of you while you work, that's number one. Having white dwarfs, I found, where they're focused on, or any gaming magazine where they're focused on what you're painting, what you're working on. Having that in front of you is a great help too. When I was working on my Empire project, I had a bunch of white dwarfs with the painting colors for whatever province I was working on. What's my favorite faction from Warhammer Fantasy Battle, Zoran? It's funny because they're all, I can't think of one that's not my favorite in some way. My favorite to paint would be Empire. I love the uniform look of their the colors and the heraldry. I love working on the freehand and all the little tiny bits that a lot of people don't like. I used to hate them too, the little skulls and the daggers and the hourglasses hanging from them. I've learned to really enjoy painting them, and I don't know. It's if you know it's on or off. I enjoy them or I don't. um, I enjoy playing the orcs and goblins or the greenskins. I used to. I haven't played the game in so long, and now that it's Age of Sigmar, it's completely different. But I enjoy most miniatures in the Warhammer Fantasy range. I found something to like about collecting or painting them or building them up. Just seeing everything they're doing with the chaos stuff, because the bloodbound and the chaos factions have gotten so popular, all the corn stuff, and even the stuff they did with Zinch, the all the models they made where they're like cultist humans with bird parts mixed in. Like, that stuff is so great. I wish they could have done more of that in fantasy, Warhammer Fantasy, before it turned to Age of Sigmar. But I enjoy most Warhammer Fantasy armies. They're a lot of fun to paint and collect up. Like, the ogres are great if you want to work on painting skin or shading and highlighting. I love the ogres because they're larger models and it's all open skin area on their torsos. So you can work on like doing the faces, and you can work on putting the. I like to add a little bit of turquoise color under the eyes, and or like dark blue to show like a little bit of bruising, but just to mix up the face, and then a little bit of dark red for their bottom lip. That's something I learned to do really well practicing on ogres, and then I carry them over when you go to the smaller models for like the Empire figures. I started doing them on all the state troopers, and it looks amazing. Doing stubble on your ogres is really easy. Painting stubble on their heads to make it look like they shaved their heads is really easy to do. I think I mentioned this in the last video. I didn't really go into it, but you want to glaze your uh, that stubble paint onto that area. So you don't want you don't want a solid black line where you're painting stubble. You want it to look almost like blended, and that it fades into their skin tone. I've seen a lot of really bad stubble and hair. So uh, yeah, I love most models in the range, which is probably not that great as a collector, because then you end up with more models than you can ever hope to paint. But going back to motivation, pictures like I am now. Yeah, like I am now. Having your pictures in front of you, um, having white dwarfs or artistic materials that you can open up and look at. My intro used to be blowing up Westminster in London. Yeah, my old intro that I can't use anymore because of, it's funny, that old intro, I've mentioned it before. My brother, who was getting into visual arts design, he made that intro. He put the music and he was like, "What do you want to have at the end? Because I'm just using different movie clips and stuff." And I was like, "Well, maybe you can have like this little Savage Orc guy, like coming up and going, subscribe." So I did, I did that. I did the voice for that. It was really fun. That was back when I had a fraction of the amount of real life responsibility that I do now. And I could just sit around and make videos all day long and paint my miniatures all day long. And I had a job, but like, really, I didn't have to worry about anything. And hey, Dicey guy, yo. Finding that's my second topic of conversation after we get through motivation, is finding that balance as your life changes, how to balance out your hobby and your real life responsibilities. Okay, so this is great. Just keep throwing questions out at me, because I'm gonna just ramble on about my topics that I've got, and when I'm done, uh, yeah, which should be about a half an hour, so we got about 15 minutes left, then we'll cut out of here, because the lady boss wants to go to IKEA, and it's gonna get way too hot. I think right now it's in the mid 80s, maybe upper 80s, and then it's gonna get to 100. Real life is great though. Love it. Yes, Dicey guy. I loved seeing your videos outside, hanging out. Do you collect alternative miniatures in Warhammer, Norska, Tilia, Estalia, IKEA? Dicey guy. Yes, I do. White Raja, I do. I went and found online on eBay. There's a lot of people that have those old miniatures. I think if that's what you're talking about, are you talking about official Games Workshop released miniatures, or like third party um, companies that have developed and released miniatures, because I think you can find some of the old regiments of renown that have Tillian swordsmen, and uh, they're older models though. They're like the 90s metal models, and some of them are they look like they've aged not that great. So had an 8 hour drive one way to buy IKEA stuff last year. 8 hours, dicey guy. I'm not sure where you're from, but don't they have like IKEAs on every corner over where you are? Like that's, I mean, I don't know for sure, but I think I have like two through Finland and Sweden. Oh, okay. Wow, 8 hour drive to go to IKEA. You know, there's no IKEA in Hawaii where I'm from. And I remember people always saying, I wish we had an IKEA here. I wish we could ship in IKEA. And we never had any. And I didn't realize until I went to IKEA for the first time how awesome it is. Nope, I live in rural northern Norway, dicey guy. Okay, well, yeah, that's good to know. Third party alternative, Warlord, Fireforge, Perry, etc. Zoran says, okay, so I found some, yeah, because the third party ones are where you find the real good detail. The really great detail now are those um, third party companies that are making them, like Fireforge. I believe I've done some videos in the past where they've made some fantastic Bretonian alternatives. And Perry Miniatures also does really, really great medieval, like longbowmen. I've seen somebody in our challenges even doing 28 longbowmen from Perry Miniatures. So it's great. Thanks so much for getting me painting again, Top Chap. All right, thank you. White Raja, right? You said it was your uh, Yum Bretonia dicey guy. Yeah. So third companies, I think they're smart. They know that they can't really dip too much into the mainstream because Games Workshop has the like they've got ownership of all the core army stuff. But you can find some great third party alternatives. There's this one company that does like Chinese themed miniatures. There's one chariot with two like foo dog guardian lions pulling it that you could use for like a high elf lion chariot. It looks just like Dookie and Duchess if they're blown up into mythic Chinese, you know, Chinese lion proportions. It's fantastic, and it looks like Mulan kind of themed characters on the back. So there are some great third-party alternatives. I love using Cybor, make some great miniatures and sculpts. I've got a couple of things from them that I want to unbox and paint up, probably when the challenge is over. But yeah, you can really, really build out your army and make them individual to you, and have something that nobody else has. Like if I had my, uh, oh yeah, they do. um, you have like Goblin Pirates. I'm trying to think off the top of my head what are some great Black Scorpion Games released like a lot of pirate miniatures, like Elven Pirates, Undead Pirates, Goblin Pirates. So they're yeah, third-party companies, and you can find them a lot on eBay. If you just type in something like Bretonia Alternative or Tomb Kings Alternative, then probably some third company or just somebody sculpting will probably have miniatures that you can. The best thing about those two is you support those smaller third companies. You have models that nobody else in your gaming group may have, and it it fires everybody up. It makes everybody inspired. Like when I went to my gaming store and I saw somebody with an alternative army for it was like an orcs and goblin, but they were like pirate themed. And I just thought it was the most amazing thing. And you become known as the guy with that army. Evening. Oh, Void Captain Bazooka. What's up, man? Welcome, welcome. Uh, I love it here. I love talking about the hobby. I love hanging out with you guys and gals and the guys and gals of the world. And I mentioned this in the last live stream, but to think that right now Dicey Guy's in rural Norway. I'm in California. Everybody's spread out all across the world. To me, it's almost the middle of the day. I don't know what time it is where you are, but you turned on your phone or your laptop or your computer, and now you're hanging out with me. I feel like we're all together and just having like a barbecue, just chilling under the tree, sipping Arizona iced tea. talking about our hobby. That's what I love about it. So, 20, okay, so that's 9 p.m., I think 9:30, 21:38 p.m. where Dicey Guy is. Yeah, so I love, and Void Captain Bazooka is in the void, so it's always dark and scary over there. Motivation, music, having a beer, just got the kids in bed. Right on, Dicey Guy. Yeah, have a beer, chill, relax. Barbecue would be good. Yes, it would. Brushworks. Yeah, I used to be the White Raja. Oh, okay, Jim Carrey. No more trolling for me. I can't believe. Yeah. I'm reading the chat because later on, I'm not sure if these will pop up. Zoran, which paints are your favorite? Games Workshop, Vallejo, Tamiya, Humbrol. Okay, so I've never had Humbrol. I painted a lot with Games Workshop paints. I think they're very overpriced, considering the fact that you might not even open a pot of paint, a brand new pot of paint, and if air gets in, the minute you open it, it's all dried. Like, what's up with that? You know, if you're the biggest miniature company in the world and you don't have that kind of quality control to take care of your paints like that, I don't think I've ever bought a pot of ceramite white that has been usable. I bought like 4 or 5. That's so much wasted money. I had to go and get my money back from. So I found that Vallejo is really, really great. Not only does Vallejo have an entire spectrum of color, but their dropper bottles, I don't think I've gone through an entire dropper bottle yet. I think it would be different if I was working on like terrain or something bigger, but Tamiya is the best for airbrush. I've heard that too, Howard, tabletop PC gaming. Tamiya is the best for airbrush. Um, I'm thinking like hand painted because that's more what I'm familiar with. I think I'm going to try to gradually switch over all of my Citadel paints to Vallejo. And another thing I found, I've always used my paints to work on the technical things like rust and grime and weathering. But not only is there so many great pigment ranges now, but technical paints from AK, AK paints, scale 75. Oh, Dicey Gay, yes, scale 75. I have a lot of scale 75 I think metallic paints. They've done a bunch of gold paints for my Amazon ladies set that I did a couple years back that I really, really enjoyed. So I think it's best to experiment. I don't think you should get locked into one paint range. I did once with Citadel, and I said I'm Games Workshop all the way, baby, and I'm gonna just use Citadel paints, and that's all I'm gonna use. And yeah, it's a great way to not to narrow your focus so much, and you don't want to do that. You want to keep open-minded, try new products. If something doesn't work for you, then you don't have to keep using it. Use something else. I love Vallejo, and I'm used to working with Games Workshop. Definitely use different paint ranges. Yeah, Void Captain Bazooka, I think you should have a multitude of different paints, and just go to the paint store and see what you need, what you think you can use. Try it out, because you never know, you might discover something that blows your mind and changes the way that you paint. So we've got our pictures, our laptop, white dwarfs, or gaming magazines, hobby magazines. Another way to stay motivated is that little Chinese Chinese lion in the back of my video. That's Duchess. The lady boss gave her a haircut, so she's a little bit cooler. Yo, everybody, Remy the cat, what's up? How we all doing? Doing good. How is Igor? Igor is good. I'm making or the boys are making a little comeback video. It's taking a little bit longer to make in the space that I have, but it's coming. um, the other thing is, I don't know if you've seen Big Rich. What's up? I was told buy paint, but color, not brand. Buy paint by color. Yeah. Go with the paint color you need, and don't worry about the brand. I've got stuff from P3, Vallejo, Games Workshop, of course. I've got a whole different range. I used Tamiya for a long time. Their clear paints for blood, fantastic. Their clear red for blood is just amazing. That's my neighbor's dog. I think once Duchess starts talking back, I'm gonna have to probably grab her and bring her in. Yeah. Duchess gets real yappy and talkative. So we've tried to train her not to bark so much at the neighbors, but if they're pressed up against the fence, then she will snap back. She's got some sass. My Duchess has some sass. She's like my lady boss. She can be sweet, but a lot of times she can be real spicy. What am I talking about? Motivation. Um, if you've got all your visual stuff, then you can also have music. Victor Erickson, who's been painting his Smolensk themed Empire troops, played his some Gregorian death metal, some like death metal with Gregorian chanting in the background, and it blew my mind. I was like, I didn't even know they made music like this. So having this community and exposing each other to different kinds of techniques, motivational uh, sources, and things is really just fantastic. So um, finding music that triggers some kind of creative like force and energy is also really good. Humble are very good too. I'm using real wood color for the wooden parts. Thank you, Zoran. Humble. I'm gonna write that down. Humble, real wood. You can always talk to me about paint. I have used a lot of them. Yeah, tabletop PC gaming is a wealth of knowledge too for anybody who wants some specific tips. He's done it all, and he's been a great resource to me over the years. So thank you, Howard, and thank you for sharing all your knowledge with me. Oh, wow, I just saw where you live. Been sub since your Howling Banshees complete vid from September 2010. I'm sorry, I missed your name. If you guys are looking for music to listen to while painting, try Haunt and Wraithblade, God of the Deep Unleashed. You guys, the chat is going by sometimes so fast that I can't really read it. If you want to throw a super chat at me to help it stay, then that'll help. That'll be cool too. But if not, don't worry about it. Hey, Victor Erickson, I was just talking about your death metal Gregorian chant music. That sounds like Duchess. Excuse me. That wasn't Duchess. Hey, baby, what are you doing? Come here, baby. Come here. You being a good girl. I thought that was you, but it's not you. I thought that was my baby, but it wasn't. That's the neighbor's dog talking about me. Yeah, Victor Erickson, your death metal Gregorian chanting music. I thought that was so cool. You just missed where I was talking about it. Say hi, Duchess. Hello. Hello. We can hear you talking doggo. Oh, that's right. I have these in my ear. I keep forgetting that you can hear everything I say wherever I go, even though the video is technology amazing. So, hi Tay. Hey, Tomas. Uh, music, listening to music while you paint, fantastic motivator. Watching videos of other people working on the things you want to work on. That's why I love making tutorials. If you put on a tutorial of me painting, I'm literally taking you real time through what I'm working on. And I find a lot of painting guides don't do that. They just take you from beginning to end. Hey, Dookie. And so that's why I love doing tutorials. That's why I love watching painting videos. And we get Igor. Yeah. Your favorite minis painting channel. Zoran is asking your favorite minis painting channel. And Remy the Cat is asking Victor Erickson, what's the name of the death metal Gregorian chant band? Yeah, that's what I want to know too. I think you mentioned it in your video, but Victor Erickson, but I think I missed it. Um, Tutorials are so great. Was my gateway drug into the hobby. Thanks, Dicey Guy. I'm an enabler. um, I'm balancing all the chats in my head right now. My favorite mini channel to watch when I was first getting started was, oh, what's up, Play Painted? Hadouken. It was girl painting. Yeah, you were right. It was girl painting. I don't think anybody was doing painting tutorials when I first started watching YouTube videos in 2010. You got me motivated to making videos. Thank you, Tomas. That's the big that's the biggest compliment right there. If I can motivate anyone, then it will so long ago, yeah, it was. Then it will grow the community. Everybody will be inspired to learn and work on their hobby and grow. and then they will hopefully pass it forward, pay it forward, make a video showing something you learned or something that you want to share. Somebody else learns from that video. It inspires them to turn on their phone and film them doing something, and the chain just continues. It's great. Okay, so Victor Erickson says Batushka, Polish Orthodox black metal. That was it. He played a little bit for us in a video, and it I was amazed. I thought it was really, really fantastic. That is the OP original painter on YouTube. Are you planning to get the new box from Games Workshop, Indomitus box set? Hey, Big Rich, thank you for the question. I saw it. I was like, it released like they're on pre-order today. I saw the video on the Games Workshop website. Zoran asked, how big is War Games community in Hawaii? I want to get, the danger of getting that set is it's like $200, right? And I already have so many boxes that I haven't gotten to, and so many boxes that I want to, like the Blackstone Fortress. Before Tiger was showing us his collection. Hey, Udizwe, what's up? We should buy him one. You know, my lady boss is gonna kill me. She's gonna open the box thinking it's like furniture or like something for the home, and she's gonna be like, Indominus. Blow up Westminster again. Oh, Jim Carrey. I'm gonna have to find some other way of doing an intro video. So the chat is flying hot, you guys. I want to answer everything. If I miss anything, then just throw it up again. Or like I said, if the super chats are live, if you want to throw me a couple of bucks, or we just ordered some doggy snacks to feed those guys. Can you believe we spent like $60 on doggy snacks because my lady boss buys them in packs, and there's a bunch of different brands. We try to keep it healthy. You are in such high quality tape. Thank you, Uruzwe. You're like one of my biggest supporters and participants in the July Painting Challenge. I really, really, really appreciate you doing them. I appreciate everybody. Okay, so this is for my subscribers, but specifically, if you're a challenger, if you've done a challenge in the past, I, I'm not following some kind of guidebook to make these challenges. Would it not be possible to slow the speed of the chat down? I don't know. Is that possible? Thanks, man. It's so fun to see you get going again. Thank you, Udi's Way. I don't know if it's possible because when a chat shows up, it shows up for like a couple seconds, and then if somebody else is chatting, it sends it up, and then it kind of disappears. And I don't know if that's a settings thing, but I'm trying to read it as much as I can. Somebody asked, I don't remember who, I'm sorry, but how is the War Games community in Hawaii, where I'm originally from? It's pretty good. When I first started, I was like a kid. The only place that really had, oh, this is terrible, you guys. When I first started playing the game, I had my little miniature orcs and goblins, not very many. The only place to play was like at one of the army bases. Every quarter they would have like a tournament, but they didn't have game nights. There were no game nights in Hawaii. And then my old hobby shop started doing those quarterly tournaments, but then they got this conference room across the hall, and so they started doing weekly, like Monday night gaming nights. And so I'd have to wait every week. What's up, brother? And every Monday, I'd be looking forward to it all week because that's when I would get to play. And because I played Orcs and Goblins in like 6th edition, I would get blown up all the time. My Orcs and Goblins would start fighting and I just lose all the time. Thomas, are you still in Hawaii? No, I'm not. I moved. I'm in California now. Undisclosed location in California. um, yeah, so then my game store was like, oh, looks like people enjoy playing. Why don't we clear out a space so people can come in and play on our table whenever they want? And that really, really helped. I'm painting my new desert board commission. Cool, man. Everybody's working on something, which is great. And we're going on 34 minutes. So I'm going to hang out with you a little bit longer until I get the signal from my lady boss that it's time to go. I didn't even get to my second topic. This is great, you guys. Just throwing in the chats. I'm really, really glad. I'm not, but I should. I should be working. That's okay. I should be too. I was inside and it was like too hot to film and too hot to paint. I filmed my day 11 video already. Had some blood rage stuff that has been waiting for me. I think we've all got stuff that's been waiting for us, right? We're all hobbyists with a veritable garage or collection or a shelter, I think Victor Erickson said, of things that are waiting for us to get to. So that was my second topic I wanted to bring up for this live stream. How do we balance our hobby with real life? Do you miss old school Warhammer, Zoran? I do. I miss the rank and file, the ordered blocks of regiments, pushing them across the table. 93 in Orange County. Ooh. Oh, look at the chat's going up so fast. Jim Carrey, do you remember when you were streaming? I'm so sorry, you guys. My brain is not processing these comments too fast, too well. So just if I don't address something and you really want to ask me, just throw it again and I'll answer it. When the chats are coming hot and heavy like that, they just go up and into the ether. I remember hordes. Remember in Warhammer when they introduced the hordes, like blocks of 100 night goblins, and I'm so dumb. I got like so many Battle of Fire Pass, um, uh, like night goblins from my friends. I was like, hey man, do you want your night goblins? Do you want your night goblins? Here and there, I grabbed and I made a whole mountain. I'll be near you in better half of a decade. Um, I had so many night goblins, and then the same thing happened when Island of Blood came out. I think, or was that when they introduced the hordes? And everybody had the Skaven. Nobody wanted the elves, so I was collecting all of those, and yeah, I was thinking like, oh, I just want hordes of miniatures, so that when I throw it on the table, my opponent will be like, oh my gosh, 200 night goblins, and then one animosity roll, and they'll all like run away. That'll be it. My horde will be dead. They'll break in combat, and then like a 10-man high elf spearman unit will run them all down. Those old rules were wacky, man. Those were it was a great time to be a collector in the early 2000s because you just collected like everything. I went to my hobby store and I would like look through all the old models, man, and that's where I got my old school steam tank for Empire. Sometimes like for armies I wouldn't even collect. You ever have one of those where you go to your hobby shop and you look in the forgotten relics section where nothing, they have things that never sold, and you're like, oh, look at all these treasures. I gotta get this old Doom Diver. Or the Empire had a Blessing of Sigmar special edition where it's like a warrior priest like blessing like a handgunner or something. Oh boy. I was like, I got so many collections of collector's items. The humans against all kinds of monsters. Blood Angel Sergeants in pewter in '98. Yeah. Oh man, remember that old was it Mephiston? It looked like Michael Bolton with long hair. Blood Angels had some wacky figures, man, in metal. I guess all the old Games Workshop did. Hey Danny, what's up? Greetings, chaps. Hello, Danny. 16 people in the chat. I think this is the most I've ever had. This is fantastic. Old Mephiston. Yes, it was fun. I'm happy with the age of ZBrush and CAD. So I love collecting, and getting the motivation to paint what you've got collected is really important. Keeping your motivation going. The thing is, we buy and we acquire and we collect our miniatures, and we have them in our collection, and then the problem is when we get home and we've got the boxes stacked up, then it's like, well, what do I work on? I just bought all this like Iodineth Deepkin, and and now I want to paint Skaven. It's like I don't really want to paint all these dark elves. This dark elf Hydra I just bought. Evening, everyone. I've missed while eating my dinner. Hey, Void Captain. Yeah. So I want to say again, because chat's blowing up. Thank you so much. I'm going to keep talking. If there's something you really want to ask me or you really want me to answer, then you could throw it up in the super chat so I could see it for sure. And but keep talking to each other. So the last part I want to get to before my lady boss wrangles me away to go on our adventure at IKEA is that we balance our work life with the hobby by taking a look at the time we have and then managing it. That's how we keep our lady bosses happy, right? If I have work to do around the house or gardening stuff, then I'm not going to spend like 4 hours on a Saturday where she's home and I'm home, locked away in the basement working on videos because I want to keep her happy. Happy wife, happy life. So I want to make sure that I handle my physical, marital stuff, my manly husband duties, and then I'll go and work on my hobby. Because the thing is, at the end of the day, it's a hobby, and nobody's paying us. Yeah, West Side. Uh, I wish I could tell my wife that she'd come after me with a frying pan. Um, yeah, that's true. I think every marriage should be equal, but I do want to keep her happy because we're sharing our same space. And gosh, I wish I had lunch with me right now. I think that's another thing I'm gonna do. That's another reason why I'm gonna cut this off in a little bit because uh, it's lunchtime. I'm hungry. Make her do hobby stuff. She does. Oh yeah, Udi's way. She loves to paint, and um, I think she doesn't care to build so much miniatures. But there were times when we would paint together. Everyone's wife is their boss. I ran away from mine, Thomas. You guys are hilarious. Um, Play It Painted just had Popeyes. We have Church's fried chicken here, which I've never had before. That's a good one. Um, Balancing your work time with your hobby time. There's not really much to say about that, right? We want everybody to. I think you showed something in a video once. Yeah, I remember years ago where I caught her painting a mermaid, and I painted up for her a Cinderella miniature, which she still keeps on her makeup stand to look at in the morning. I think that's really cool. David Moffat, my wife has been very supportive during the challenge. That's what you need. You need a supportive partner. If you're gonna tackle something for 31 days that is gonna really be a drain on your personal time that normally would be spent around the house or doing other things, then having a supportive partner is really, really, really helpful. Yeah, it is super tough to balance. Play It Painted is right. Being paid helps. Like if some YouTube corporate exec came up to me and was like, "We need you to put on this July painting challenge because we got a lot of miniature painters that aren't getting anything done that we want to watch our videos." Do two wangs make a wong? I don't know. I don't know what that means. Then yes, if somebody put a dump truck of money outside of my garage and what are you doing up there? And paid me to do these challenges, I'd be doing them all year long. But so far, I'm mainly getting YouTube money from people watching the ads on my videos and yeah, super chats. But I don't mind because the things that I'm painting, I enjoy painting them. It's not like I'm being tortured. So no one's putting a sword to my back and saying you gotta paint these Kingdom Death miniatures. It's a side thing though. For a lot of people, yeah, the hobby is a side thing, and it's really doing what you enjoy, finding enjoyment in your side hobbies, so that you can. It makes the grind of everyday life more bearable. I disabled ad block for your videos. Yeah, do it. Man, ad block ad block is great. I use it all the times. If ever I watch a video before I got my YouTube subscription, I'd skip ad every single time. I don't care. Uh, but it does. We got to find the way to survive. We're all trying to make our way in the world, and I got to find some way to afford the new Indomitus set. uh, so there's nothing really else I wanted to talk about. I wanted to hang out with you guys for a little bit in my garden, and thank you for taking part in the challenge. And the hobby is really healthy for a lot of us. It Painting is really an enjoyable, relaxing, cathartic hobby, and I don't think I'd be the person I am today if, when I was 10 years old, I didn't pick up a paintbrush for the first time and slap some screaming bone onto a plastic skeleton. I think I was in the closet in my bedroom. I was in the closet because that's where I had a free extension cord or a free outlet. And thank you, Westside. It's the grass is kind of dying, so we're trying to water it back to green lushness. But we're trying. Um, yeah, if I think if I didn't start painting and start collecting, if I didn't find the hobby, then I would be really a different person than I am now, and probably as uh, not as pleasant to be around. I was a grumpy kid. California and grass, get white pebbles and succulents. Yeah, I know. I should just get rid of the whole thing and just put a bunch of wood chips and do like a New Mexico theme in background. Why is Doomwheel video tutorial deleted? The Doomwheel video was deleted? I don't know. That was like one of my most popular videos. I have to check on that because I love the Doomwheel tutorial. That was like one of my favorite videos, putting that thing together. Yeah, I don't know. I have to check that. That's crazy. Mad jealous of you, Matt. I want house all English. English is proper English. YouTube might have done it. Yeah, YouTube, those sneaky sneakersons. You know, grow your hair into a pompadour. I think the lady boss would agree. Yeah, this is like lazy man. Just throw some pomade and just like slick it. Oh, thank you, Dicey Guy. Did you just buy me a sandwich? Is that what that burger emoji is? Hey, what's up, Joe Razorwire? Dicey Guy, thank you for my super chat. Um, yeah, that the super chat is live again, everybody. I hate plugging that, but some people think that if I don't look at if I don't see your comments and you send it and I don't respond, then that means that I'm not that I don't care about you. But I do. I care about all you guys. You guys are you're my homies. So if you really want me to see something, throw it in the super chat. And thank you again, Dicey Guy, and everybody for just hanging out. I do love your complaints on the Iron Blaster. Yeah, the Iron Blast. What the? Something we don't have in Hawaii that we have here are squirrels. You know who loves squirrels? Duke, my dog. He loves chasing them. Good afternoon. I knew your channel when you painted Krell. Thank you, La Biblioteca de Lilsburg. I loved Krell, the miniature, and it's so much fun to paint. And that's a miniature I wouldn't mind painting over and over. Squirrels are mad tasty. Westside, what's wrong with you? My fault, it's not deleted. Oh, okay. Whew. Sorry, you scared me. That's like one of my favorite videos. I love Krell. I love Isabella von Karstein. If I could paint Isabella von Karstein and Krell and any of the old vampire counts, I would for just for fun. They're so much fun to paint. Krell was one of my favorite Joe Razorwire. Yep, it was such a cool model. I think it was the first Vampire Counts model that came out that looked beefy and armored and looked like it would really kick your butt. Krell is actually one of my favorite figures because in the old, I don't know if some of you remember when I reviewed Return of the Lich Master, in the Warhammer Fantasy roleplay, Krell was the first undead creature that Heinrich Kemmler summoned in that adventure line. And I know when they did, Heinrich Kemmler was in the old Warhammer Fantasy, and they brought those models in to Warhammer Fantasy. Remember the old Krell model had like an axe and he was like doing this pose. I do remember that. But I before I collected miniatures at all, I knew Krell from Return of the Lich Master, and I love that. That is my favorite role playing game story of all time. And if you can get a copy of it, I would highly say it's just great fun to read. You could convert it to Dungeons and Dragons or anything, but it is such a great story. Just wanted to say thanks, Warboss. All those older tutorials helped me with mini painting. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Airy Legend. I want to do tutorials for people who are collecting that just want to learn to paint quick to a nice high tabletop standard. I like to think that my stuff is like pretty quality tabletop standard. I don't like having messy lines, and I like having nice eye-popping visuals. And I want to teach people that as quickly as possible. So when I see a new miniature come out or something that I think I can paint up pretty fast and throw a tutorial up that's maybe like a 1 hour video, 45-minute video, or a couple segments, then I really enjoy doing that. Thank you, Tomas. Lewis Pimped Out Corpse Cart was my second favorite. Lewis Pimped Out Corpse Cart. That was one of my favorite models to paint too. I think the problem with that video was I built it before I painted it. Bad choice. I should have painted it in sub assemblies and then glued it all together. Got hot glue. Got to go hot glue stuff. Okay, see you, Westside. Gosh, I'm sorry. I'm missing some of your questions, guys. They're going so fast, and my brain is so focused on one single thing. I think I saw a question asking if Krell is still in Finecast, and as far as I know, it is. I don't think they're going to do any of the models they released in Finecast to metal. And I don't know if anyone knows any differently, but I think if they did it in Finecast, that's the way they're going to keep it. I learned from your mistake on the corpse card. That's good. I hope you learned from my victories and also from my mistakes. Finecast! I'm not even going to get into Finecast. Metal is better than Finecast. Which is way that's like saying that's like saying winter is cold and summer is hot. Yeah, it's like I can't even. I'm not even gonna get into it. Opening that door to my relationship with Finecast is like me talking about an ex. It's like I don't even want to. That's a whole closet of memories that I'm just gonna push the door back shut. I'm gonna lock it and I'm gonna bar it. I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to look at it. I don't want to think about it. Danny Jones. I like Finecast. It has more detail in it, but it is more brittle. Please don't make me talk about Finecast, you guys. It is more brittle. You can get more detail. I've heard, but the early Finecast stuff, especially, my biggest problem was just they didn't have their method down, and they released it without quality control, and so you get stuff that's like mode shifted where half of the model looks like that. Like even if you took a file right and you filed off the mode lines, like the fact that somebody's face would be like that is like really the Space Marines come with pre-made bullet holes. Yeah, not just your Space Marines, but like your high elves have pre-made bullet holes. Dicey guy, thank you so much. Thank you for the super chat. Um, I was out of the hobby when Finecast was more of a thing. Um, yeah, me too. I think when Finecast came in, we all were so excited, right? Because we all wanted Forge World. We all wanted resin. We'd been working with metal for so long. Plastic was still a relatively new thing. All right, I'll talk about Finecast, Dicey guy. You super chatted me, so now I gotta have to talk about it. When they announced Finecast, we were we had these expectations that were so high. We wanted Forge World Finecast. We wanted that resin quality stuff. And when it came out, a lot of those first models were like, "Oh, that's kind of weird. Why is his sword like? Why is his staff like that?" Remember the fire belly I painted? His staff was like literally like this. Like it went to the top and it bent. And I was like, that doesn't make any sense. And and then you see the air bubbles and the holes in flat areas where there really shouldn't have been. It was their casting process that I don't think they were quite ready to roll out yet. Bend by fire. The fire belly bent it with his amazing fire skills. um, so you had problems like uh, mold lines, the mold shifts, and a lot of holes and a lot of flash. I don't know if you guys remember all the flash, but there was so much flash everywhere. You had to like Games Workshop made products to fix their Finecast stuff. The mold line scraper thing was for Finecast. The liquid green stuff, which I'm pretty sure they weren't considering putting out yet. Yeah, there was so much to fix, so flashy. And then even when you did fix all the flash and you got all that off, you had little bits of resin, little worms that were popping out here and there. So you had to clip those off. You had to file it down. And then my one of my worst experiences with Finecast was I was there was a lot of flash on one side of I don't remember if it was a pauldron or some armor plate that was like metal, right? And it needed to be smooth, but there was some flash and there was like a mold line. So it's like, okay, I'll just scrape it away real careful. I used to use the back of my hobby knife to the um scrape the mold lines and stuff off because I didn't want if you use the bladed side, you're going to carve into the surface. You don't want that. So I would use the back of my hobby knife and I would scrape this armor plate down. And I was like, okay, it's not so bad. The flash is coming off pretty easy. I just got to work at this one really stubborn mold line. So I scraped it. And the minute the last bit of flash came off, underneath, hidden by a thin layer of resin, bullet hole or air bubble right in the center, air bubble. And I was like, I'm done with this. Threw up my fist. I screamed at the sky as the rain was falling on me. Finecast! and that was it. I think that was the most frustrated I'd ever been in this hobby. It was like was it a Space Marine, or it was something where like you shouldn't have, like I was like, oh, you're gonna have to make it a bullet hole now. That's a horror story. I should have saved that for Spooky Toberfest. That was a spooky story. Uh, I'm looking at, sometimes my dogs like to come out and hang out in the garden, but they'll chill. And let me see if I can turn this around so you can see my dog Duke. It's all right. Hi, Dookie. Oh, my my production quality. I need to get Igor behind the camera again. All right. I hope that answers your question, dicey guy. Finecast. Talk about Finecast. Make me talk about Finecast with your super chat. Um, this is going like almost a half an hour longer than I thought it would, because people started throwing questions in the super chat, which is awesome. So I'm gonna probably wrap it up in a little while. The ice already melted in all of my iced tea, and IKEA awaits. So if there's any other things you guys want to throw out, any other questions or comments or anything, do it now, and I can take a look at it. If you throw it in a super chat, it'll last long enough for me to read it before it disappears. You know what else we like at IKEA is there's Swedish meatballs. Let me know when you want to do the co-stream. I'm available most nights. I will play it painted. I will. My evenings are so like stop and go and questionable that I can't really commit to anything in the evenings, because the time's gonna show up and all of a sudden there's something else I need to run off and do. Evenings for me has been like my family time, personal, work around the house kind of time. So when I can carve out 5 minutes to do a video or like a hobby thing, then it's so stop and go. Swedish meatballs with lingon berries. Yes, Victor Erickson, that is that is the stuff. That is our number one thing. Streams with play painted archery. Yeah, I know. They changed the meatball recipe. No more horse meat. Oh, Westside, you're like throwing all sorts of bombs in this chat. Best up, stock up on the Lingon. Okay, just got a text. We need to leave at 2. We've got appointments, and it's getting a little bit late. So I've never had 18 people in my stream before. Maybe I should do this more often, or maybe I should announce that I'm doing one of these. The veggie balls are great. I like the veggie balls too. You know what I like? Chicken and waffles, the spicy chicken and waffles. For those of you who haven't even been to IKEA, you're probably like, what is this guy talking about? So motivation, keeping your motivation up. This is going to be a long month if you're doing the July painting challenge, but we keep in it. And anytime you feel your motivation lagging, plug into the Discord. My Discord link is in the description. If you're not already on the Discord, what's wrong with you? Say hi to Lady Boss. We need her here too. Yeah, she's always doing her own thing. She's always like, "Are you gonna live stream? Do you want me to come on?" I was like, "Yeah, come on in, come on the live stream." And then she always ends up having to do other things. So I will though. I can't believe we got married like 2 years ago. Isn't that crazy? I feel like we just got married like last year, but man, it's wild. Time really flies. And when you are doing hobby stuff, okay, I'm not gonna wax lyrical anymore. What dog breed? Pekingese, Zoran. They're Pekingese, purebred, Chinese, little Chinese doggies. So many interesting facts about the Pekingese dog too. Did you know that every Pekingese in the world originates from like the original 12 that they brought over from China? It's crazy. When doing a stream, you could announce it on Discord. That's a great idea, Remy the cat. I wish I thought of that. Announcing it on Discord. Okay, next week for my weekly live stream, whenever it is, I'll announce it on Discord, and then we'll get it up and running. I don't know if there's anything else I need to talk about. I hope you all stay balanced, balance your time, and okay, I'll see you, Joe. Have a good rest of your day. Everyone else, why don't you pick an evening? Maybe I should. I should do that. It's easier to do this in the daytime because I can talk outside. But yeah, stick to it. Consistency, number one, and stay motivated, stay in it, and thank you so much for taking part in today's live stream. And if you need any motivation, just pop on over to the Discord. If there's anything you'd like me to do or like me to try or film or whatever, then let me know. And yeah, just thanks for everything, you guys. You guys are doing awesome work. Keep the paint flowing. And thank you so much for joining me. We'll see you in the next video. Bye.